All right. So I love this lesson. It's fun. I think that my high schoolers would enjoy it. Um, the things that I especially loved were like the voice and choice throughout it, so that they can like pick their own topic within the lesson that they wanted to be experts on. I think them just having that kind of control, especially a lot of my students, and like the one that you did yours based off of, he has a lot of issues with authority and being told what to do. So that voice and choice is especially key for my ED kids. Um, and then I think just the objective that you have, it aligns with the voice and choice aligns with that and helps with that as well. And then the only thing I wasn't sure of, I was having a hard time with the links. And I don't know
Yeah.
if that's because I opened it as a PDF.
I was concerned about that because I added the links using Cami.
Oh, okay.
And when I went to use it, I could access them because I think they were my links. So I
Gotcha.
was concerned that that was going to be the case.
Yeah, so the only like that was the only thing I couldn't click the video, and then the graffiti gist. I've never heard of a graffiti gist.
I love graffiti gists.
What is it? Because it sounds
Um,
fun.
yeah, I use them all the time. So I can I'll shoot you the links. Like I can
Okay.
send you the actual link so you can see it. So like you take in this particular case, like you would take one of those things. So the Cold War, and
Okay.
they would put that in the center of their paper.
Yeah.
And you'd have either a video for them or whatever the resource is for that particular thing. And in this case, it was just the article that they were
Okay.
working through. They could use that as a resource, or you could pull like books or videos or just the video that they watched as the intro. And they just all have a different color marker and they write down all the things that they know about it. And if they know something already, like the Cold War that they already have background knowledge on, they can add that and write that down too.
Oh, cool.
So they do that independently, and it's like graffiti. They just
Yeah.
are all over like the main topic, or somebody
Oh,
else
that's
writes something
awesome.
down and they're like, "Oh, I know what this is," or whatever. So it literally looks like a graffiti wall, and they think it's really cool because they do it that way. I actually have done it too on a desk with whiteboard markers,
Yeah.
and they think that's so cool to write on the desk because
I'll
it
try
comes
that.
right off.
Yeah.
But then they take then together collaboratively, they share their ideas, whatever. And then they pick the top 3 things that came out as the most important for the Cold War. So if it was something they
Cool.
all said, then they pick that, or if someone shares something compelling about it, they'll pick that, whatever. But
Yeah.
then from all of their graffiti, they pick the top 3 things to like share out.
That's awesome.
My
Oh, I
kids
love
love
that.
it. They
Yeah.
love it.
I'm gonna have to try that. I do. So right now I'm teaching math and social skills, but I could see that being like such a fun thing to do for some
Yeah.
social skills
Yeah.
lessons.
Yeah.
Um,
That would actually probably be really cool.
yeah. Oh, I love that. So yeah, and then the other thing that yeah, aside from the links, I feel like it was great. The one thing I would suggest for adaptation to add to would be maybe giving them, I think you had it at the end, the opportunity to like choose to either have it work independently if they're
Mm.
struggling instead of in a group. There's some kids I know I have that like don't do as well in that, and they prefer to just like let me read the article and do it, or to have like written instructions in addition to the oral ones out loud. And then I thought the QR code was super cool that you included. My guys though, they don't have access to their phones.
Yeah, that's always I never know. And our
Yeah.
our Chromebooks read a QR code, so
Oh, they
we
do?
I use QR codes for everything.
That's awesome. I'll have to learn how to do that too. Because we have Chromebooks for them.
Okay.
But
So when you go into camera, you can choose scan, and then you can choose QR code, and
okay,
it should
cool.
scan the QR code.
That's
Should
awesome.
being the keyword.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so the only thing I was thinking was like if to include like a link or like a Google Classroom or something in case the QR code doesn't work. But
Mm,
yeah, that was all I had. I loved your lesson plan.
thank you.
I think it'd be great and engaging for my guys that are that require that.
Yeah, that was, I'm not going to lie, I was challenged because I haven't taught a secondary ever. So,
Yeah.
I think all of those, I mean, adaptations are absolutely doable. For sure. And the links, I kind of knew that that might be the case.
Yeah, I didn't realize too. I didn't check the like I opened the PDF and saved it so that I could access it like where at work or at home.
Yeah.
Check on the
Yeah.
either, but
That was the only thing. And like I said, I usually, and I wasn't sure because the format for the lesson plan was not conducive. So the only way I could do it was just Cami to overwrite it. So
oh, okay.
that
I
was.
haven't even tried Cami before. So many new things.
I like Cami too. What's really nice, it like saves it downloads it as a PDF then automatically, like
Oh,
right
that's
into your
awesome.
drive, which is really
Oh,
nice.
cool.
Which you guess could then open up again in Cami or in DocHub and edit again, which is okay. That's kind of crazy. My brain doesn't ever turn off. Okay.
That's okay.
Well, thank you. I appreciate all of that feedback. So yours, this actually, it's one of my kiddos. So I am a specialist. So I only see the kids once every 12 days.
Okay.
So I actually observed, we have a life skills, an autistic support room.
Okay.
So I actually went in and observed a specific kiddo over a week's period of time. Just
Yeah.
I don't get to see them for very long at a
Yeah.
whole. So that was the only thing that was hard for me. So he's a 4th grade student, but everything that you hit with your lesson was exactly the things that they work on. So I think you really nailed that. And the adaptations in the lesson that you found were things that I did see and then talk to later on with the teacher that she does with them.
Okay.
And things that he does struggle with. So I think you did a really nice job with your lesson, finding something that is exactly for that disability. So very nicely done.
Cool. Thanks.
I also liked that the alphabet song that they do that with you. That's such a great, it's so simple, but it's such a great idea.
Yeah.
So I really liked that. I liked you did an awesome job explaining your rationale behind it and the lesson plan format, designating the italicized versus the regular font. Just like that was nice. That was good. That helped me when I was reading it.
Okay. Yeah.
And it was also because then I was like sitting with both of them next to each other, just kind of looking through like how it was laid out and then what you had added. That was really helpful. So thank you for that rationale. You specifically stated the adaptations, which was awesome, and even quoting them, which was great, and identifying the objective. You followed the lesson plan, and I think it was a really good lesson plan, but I liked that you added some things. The grouping, I think, would be really awesome. That wasn't in the lesson plan. I liked that you added that.
Yeah. Small group instructions, like my absolute favorite.
Yes. Nope. There's nothing wrong with that. I used to do that all the time when I was still in the regular classroom. So that's totally fine. No, I think that was awesome. I love small groups also. And I like that you designated in the building academic language part where you specifically broke it down into the groups and what you will consist the learners of and like what they'll practice on. So I think you did a really great job with that.
Thank you.
I also think that your discourse was good too. My question with the discourse, I loved that the alphabet cards along with the copies, like they're the create words.
Yeah.
Would you have used that as an assessment?
Yes. So part of it was either their how they do filling that out and turning it in, or if I'm like if there's a teacher-led group, how like
Okay.
they're responding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Totally makes sense. I also liked that you talked about incorporating his iPad because it was I originally had thought, and then I talked to the teacher later on and she explained a little bit of it. He's like anxious about his iPad and he doesn't like using it. So she doesn't force it on him because then he gets upset and he kind of shuts down. So I got it afterwards.
Yeah.
But I just was while I was watching and he was going through the lesson, he was struggling with some of the sounds naturally. I found it weird that he didn't rely on the iPad. Now I know. So I liked that you made that a part of it because I think you really talked about his specific communication struggles, and applying those communication pieces with the iPad is important. So I think between the small group and then utilizing that iPad is a really, like, you're really speaking to the disability, but then also talking about the adaptation.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Would you use the same set of materials
I
that
think
they had listed?
yes, but I think there was
Excuse me.
included like there was like beginning and ending sound, but then for
Yes.
kids who are like more advanced and ready to move on, there was also beginning middle worksheets. So I don't think
Oh,
I would
okay.
have used like I think that I had planned to have that be for like the advanced group if they needed
Gotcha.
more kind of challenging work while I'm still continuing to work with small group but yeah.
I think that's perfect. No, I think you picked a great lesson to adapt. I liked the objectives. I liked that they were specific. So it really would give them like that learning goal, that learning intention behind it.
Yeah.
And I think it makes it easy to identify like that success criteria, right? Can they do it? Can they not do it? Just because it was concrete and it was, laid out.
Cool.
I think you did a great job.
Thanks. Same
I
to
would
you.
I would use it. I would, especially since I'm terrible with phonemic awareness. It's not a strength, so
Yeah.
I could probably benefit from it myself.
I give credit to like all the elementary, like the enhancing literacy class that I'm in.
Mhm.
They talk a lot about like fluency and like phonetic, like all of those like basics. And I'm like, I don't know. Like I
What
have high
those words
schoolers.
mean?
I've been working with teenagers for so long now that I'm like, I can't even like imagine going back to like the amount of patience to just go back to the basics of words. Although sometimes I'm like, what did you say to me? But
Yes, it is not a strength of mine, but no, I think you did a great job.
same to
You did a
you.
good job. I think somebody could take this lesson tomorrow and adapt it, and I think the kids would have some success with it.
Yeah, same to you. I might pass yours on to one of my colleagues that's doing history, and just
Oh, perfect. See,
not a
that would
fan
be
of it. And I'm
so
like, let
fun.
me tell you about a graffiti gist.
I will send you the link so you have it, so you know exactly how to lay it
I
out.
love
But
it.
no, I mean, we use it all the time. The kids, honestly, I think it just comes down to they get to use like a different color marker. That
Yeah, or
alone
like
is like,
yeah, they want to
that's
take
all
it
it
and draw. Even my high schoolers want to take the dry erase markers and doodle all over the whiteboard all the time anyway.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, if I asked them to, would they?
That's so funny. Well, and the beauty of it for me too, because I have like K-4, is that sometimes they just draw pictures and
Yeah,
like label them. But I'm like, oh my gosh, the process for a diagram is just as much an intense of a process for like the cognitive sweat behind the vocabulary. So
yeah,
it's just as good stuff.
yeah. And they're having fun with it and they're engaged.
Yeah,
So it works.
exactly. Exactly.
Awesome.
Okay.